everyone, and welcome back to another storytime video. Today I am going to be talking about my last day at my first job. The Thursday before yesterday, I was talking to somebody about a couple of, maybe it was the Wednesday. I don't remember. But it was sometime last week where I was talking to them about a couple of experiences, stories from the Mexican restaurant that I worked at for my first job. And he was telling me stories about where he worked in the past. And so that prompted me to talk about my last day at the local Mexican restaurant. Now, it was not... I did not really think that it was going to be my last day. I had an idea that it could have been going in, but I didn't think it would have been. And no, I did not get fired. I will get to that a little bit later in the video. Just hang tight. So, at this time, I was working as a busboy there. Now, if you may remember that I was working there as a busboy and a dishwasher, as explained in at least the story time where I talked about the job in general. Sorry, breathed in a little bit too heavy. Where I talked about the job in general, which I need to retell that story. I can do that at a later date. And I think one or two other times I've talked about this, or I've mentioned it. Now, as a brief reminder as to what a busboy is, because typically you don't hear that outside of restaurant lingo, is that typically a busboy will refill the drinks, bring out chips and salsa, or whatever else you would need, like bread, just your basic free stuff, whether it's breadsticks, slices of bread, and I would clean the tables at this Mexican restaurant. Now, I never refilled any drinks. I did one time when I wasn't busy, when typically a lot of people are eating. The busboy isn't needed. Like, you can gather because no one's leaving, so I don't need to clean tables, and no one's coming in, so I don't need to bring out chips and salsa. One time when it was not busy for me, I tried to, and this was early on as a busboy, I tried to refill someone's drink, but my boss at the time did not want me to do that. He said that it was the server's responsibility to do that. So, I personally never did that. As I recall, it was not really busy on this particular Sunday. And as I explained in the just overall general job, I said that Friday nights and Sunday mornings are typically the busiest times of the week, not just the weekend. And I remember it being steady this day. It wasn't slow, it wasn't busy, it was just steady. I do distinctly remember, though, trying to sneak into the bar to watch women's college softball. Now, as some of you may know, that is the last thing, well, one of the last things that someone would expect me to watch from a sports perspective. Now, that was basically the only thing that was on in the bar, and I didn't just want to stay in the back all the time. Oh yeah, that's right. I would also clean the menus. Whenever we had a lot of menus that needed to be cleaned, I would do that. That was my least favorite thing to do. Because it was boring, it was tedious, and I was in the back where I couldn't watch the restaurant. Like, I couldn't watch anyone leave, I couldn't watch anyone come in. So I hated that. And eventually my ex-boss figured out that I didn't like it. And then he, for clarification, just straight up asked me one day, he was like, hey, do you hate cleaning the menus? Because you never seem to want to. I was like, yeah, I don't like to. But, sorry about that sidetrack. Anyway, so I was in the bar, watching the TV. You have to pass by the bar door, well, one of the entrances to the bar, to get to the, I don't want to say a front desk, to get to where the cash register is. And so, that's how I was able to efficiently watch people, even from the bar, like, leave. I don't just stare at people while they eat. I feel like that's weird. Plus, I don't like it when people do that to me, so I don't do it to anyone else. But I will notice whenever people leave and enter in a restaurant. And so, I think I spent, I want to say 2.5, 3 hours there that day. And then I went home on that Sunday night and enjoyed myself. And Sunday nights aren't typically busy, so I didn't have to come back. But I kind of knew that my time there was coming to an end because I was looking for other jobs, better jobs, where I could work full time and not just the weekend, and of course, better pay. I never got paid that well at this place, but it's a restaurant, so I'm not really complaining. And that Monday morning, the next day, I got a call from what was the HR at the place I work at now, and I went in for orientation on that Tuesday, and I got hired. Well, I had a job interview a week or two before that, but they basically called me up that Monday morning, said, hey, can you come in tomorrow morning for orientation? And so that Tuesday, I went down to the restaurant and told my ex-boss about it. And he was happy with me. Or not happy with me, but happy for me in the fact that I was able to get something better. Not that the Mexican restaurant was terrible, but that I needed to find something better. And I think he realized that as well. So I turned in a 2 week notice, but he said that I didn't have to worry about it and that he got it covered. So I didn't have to work there anymore. And the bridge is certainly not burnt at all. And that I would argue that it is a little bit reinforced. Like, it's gotten reinforced over the years. And I say that because after I left, for years, until this whole coronavirus pandemic happened, I was still a regular at this place. Like, I would go and eat there every Saturday night. And also, I got a girlfriend at, like, the same time. So I would hang out with her every Saturday night, and so I wouldn't go and eat at this place. But since I've got more free time on my hands, and since the place is back open, as it has been for a while, but I'll probably be bored tomorrow, so I might go down there and eat. I would always eat in the bar by myself and watch the TVs. I like to watch sports or movies on the whatever they have basically on the TVs. It's great, dude. But yeah, so everything is fine, and I could go back down there right now and say, hey, I would like to come back here. And I would get hired just like that. Probably as a dishwasher, though. Because you have more turnover as a dishwasher than you do as a busboy. And I could wash some dishes. I was darn good at washing some dishes. But yes, it was a pretty odd last day, but I'm glad that I had the experience of working at a restaurant. And I think I've said this before, but regardless, it's worth mentioning again if I have already. But I feel like pretty much everybody should work in a restaurant or retail so that everybody will be more sympathetic to people that work in a restaurant or retail. And a restaurant, it could be fast food, it could be something like I did, like a classy high-end restaurant. Even like that, because I have some customer stories. I have some customer stories that I need to tell one day. So, yeah, I do honestly believe that. And, yeah. And CS guys, I do believe that will do it for this storytime video. And next storytime video, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys! Thank you all for watching.